Namaste, angels. Again, today I was told to get on here prior to Sunday when I would normally get on here and upload the weeklies. I was told to do a special video today with regard to karmic relationships on the part of the masculine. And I was told to do it earlier. A long time ago, I was moved to do it. And I jumped up, as I did the other day with those two videos, the one that I did for parties in separation and the one that I did for parties in contact. Jumped up to do it right then and there, just as I had been moved to. And then other things came into play and I was distracted and I went over here and I answered some emails and I, got on Facebook and talked to some of you and all that kind of stuff. And here we are, like several hours later. And then right before I was about to start again, I had another one of those major revelations and visions. So I said, oh, that's why I was held up, because I wasn't tuning in or tapping into it prior, and it must be included on this video, even though I probably should remember to mention it again in the weeklies. Anyway, let me tell you guys what it is. You're gonna be the first to hear this. No one's talking about this, again, just like nobody was talking about the partial eclipse that occurred after the Gemini new moon. Now people are talking about it. Now I see posts going up about, the universe is flipping over the next couple of weeks. We're going to have major shifts and portals are opening. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. You weren't saying that when I said it. But anyway, guess what? So not the easy one, not what would be obvious and what you'll probably see come up, like 7-7. People tell you that's going to be like some kind of shift or portal or something. And I'm not saying the energy of 7-7 won't be interesting. It does have our numerology that we've been focused on for the past several weeks of 8, right? 7-7 is essentially 7711 or 88, which equals 7 again. So I'm not saying that nothing. There won't be anything of interest on that day, but I can tell you what I've been shown and told is going to be more interesting, and that's 7-16. Now, 7-16 is also 7-7, of course, or 7711 if you consider the year too. But in addition to that, on that day, at 1:15 p.m., which also equals 7, Uranus semi-sextile Chiron. You know Chiron, the wounded healer? Remember all this stuff about healing right now, preparing for a larger event? Not only that, so we already got 3 sevens now. July 16th, 1:15 p.m., I'm going to hit you with 3 2s right now. Uranus semi-sextile Chiron, 2 degrees 22. 777-222 equals 999. So I've also been talking about the 9s too, because several of the recent events, including the Mars retrograde most recently, 9 degrees. So yeah, 777-222 on July 16th. And what that is going to do, and what in general Chiron semi-sextile Uranus does, it's going to help us to change our approach toward healing. We might look for, new methods toward healing. Consider new approaches. Maybe you've never gotten a reading before. This might be when you get your first one, whether it's from me or whomever it's from. Right? It might be a new approach. I need some insight. Normally I would read a book or whatever, or Google something. But I need a more personal this time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get my fortune told, my palm read, whatever it is you're into. And then with regard to the healing, never before done this, but I'm going to get some energy healing, or I'm going to get some acupuncture or deep tissue massage and other holistic means. I'm going to work with essential oils. I'm going to work with stones, crystals. I'm going to get into some crystal healing, or go see somebody who can help me with some crystal healing, or salt, whatever it is. Combinations of those. Also, we finally are going to come into an understanding that ultimately the healing process never ends. And it's kind of because, and similar to the fact that learning never ends. Like, we should constantly be learning and growing, or else why are we here? Like, we might as well be dead, seriously, if we're not continuing to grow and to change as people, to evolve, and to become more educated about ourselves and the world around us. So healing is part of that. It needs to be continuous and evolutionary. So we'll come to understand that, some of us, because of this Uranus sextile Chiron. And again, we may turn to spirituality more. We may be made to focus on spirituality more, and particularly as it relates to healing and how we can use it as a tool. Meditation, prayer, in addition to the ones that I just mentioned, and becoming more focused on our journey, and as individuals, and then maybe the collective one also. On the shadow side, the darker side, as I understand it, we could be also pushed to how you say that, like self-medicate, they call that, maybe drugs or alcohol. So that may be one that we want to try to avoid. Like, if we're moved to do that, what do they call that? Drown your sorrows and stuff like that. And let's look at the other more positive ways that we can go about healing instead. So that's that. And so once I had that revelation, I got on camera. So I didn't take the time to try to further investigate and to see if that too is more specific to the masculine, and if that was why I was being made to, wait and incorporate it into this spread that I'm going to do. But as with the last time and any other time, as I become more informed and more aware, should I be blessed to, I will, let you guys know as well. It actually looks like this 222 energy is going to be twice over. That Uranus will be 2 degrees 22 Chiron, and that Chiron will be 2 degrees Aries 22 retrograde. If I'm reading this chart correctly. And those of you who are better at reading charts, you can check that part out. But other than that, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I saw, and I know what I Googled to confirm. And I see this chart that I'm looking at. All right, so let's get into the reading and spread we're going to do today. It's also going to be different. I'm going to start with the opening message from the Journey of Love Oracle by Alana Fairchild, Razuli, and Richard Cohn. So a party of 3 made these cards. The undercurrent is the Lovers. Very nice card. And this reminds me kind of Gemini too. Like, they look like they're sort of attached, like twins. Basically, this oracle brings us a message of love. Be the god of love in your life. Be the goddess of love in your own life, and just go around spreading love everywhere, and be open to it coming to you and in all forms. That's basically what this card is about. But our opening message will be, whoa, card number 8, Yin Yang Lover. So this I will read from the book. Yin-yang lover. The force of attraction is stronger than your conscious control. There's no need to fight this inner genius. You can learn to speak this language instead. What is it that captures you, that pulls you close, that holds so much light for you? Why fight it? Don't step away from what you really love to grab hold of for a second prize. Why not claim the first prize? It is there waiting for you. It is yours alone, beloved. No one else can claim your own divine birthright for you. Be yielding and let your desire fill your body, your heart, and your mind. You don't have to fight for what is already yours. It will come to you through the field of attraction that emanates from your own heart. It's not a question of worthiness or deservedness. It's not a question of trying to work out what you need or want. Your heart always knows. Listen. If you still can't hear, then just feel. You'll get the gist of it soon enough. This oracle has a message for you. No matter whether you seem to be heading closer to your goal or further away, you're making real spiritual progress. And what you want is the same thing that is wanting you. What you're seeking is seeking you. It's only a matter of time before you get it. The moment when to fill my heart again is measured not in time or sweet remorse, nor tears that wash away unbridled pain, or morning's light which sings its soft retort. Such love has slept through storm and winters long. No call could break the stillness embrace, or hasten change before the season's song unfurls its melody and words so chaste. Empowered thus, I find myself compelled to cast aside emotions dormant still. My feelings spoke from depths the answers welled. No need or past the emptiness to fill. At one, our touch has opened hearts anew. Of patience born, there waits a love so true. So basically that poem is saying if you can wait, if you can hold out, what's coming for you is going to be so amazing that you will find it is worth it. And like the passage spoke about, what the oracle spoke about, it's for you, you're going to have it, you know. So we don't have to try to force these things to come, and we can't force them. And coincidentally, that information is on page 33, master number 33. So I think that may be a nice message too. Of course, 33 also connected to the ascended masters and the fact that they are surrounding us. All right, so I was told to pull out a bunch of my decks. I'll try to remember to list which ones they are in the description box, rather than fill it with something else. And I'm going to include a pick a card. I was guided to include a pick a card. I haven't done this in forever. It's not really my thing. Because I like to read for you, intuitively read for you. This requires you to intuitively choose the message that is right for you. So we'll do that, I don't see anything wrong with it. I just enjoy actually reading cards and feeling the messages and giving to you, letting everybody know what came through. But we can do it this way too. And actually this way, I guess, incorporates both. You will intuitively choose which one is right for you, and I will intuitively tell you what the message is. I'm going to mark each place by Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Baby Bear of my heart-shaped rainbow obsidian. This is Daddy, Papa. Yes, the outside is cut in the shape of a heart. It's polished rainbow obsidian. However, the inner hearts, going all the way down to teeny tiny, are naturally occurring. And rainbow obsidian is a beautiful stone that I've seen naturally occur. And you guys can probably Google and see some of it for yourself too. I guess you can click on images. I mean, I've seen at my natural stone place, he's got some amazing pieces. But I've seen the image of Mary on rainbow obsidian. I've seen it in the shapes of butterflies, and and it's undeniable. It's undeniable. It's as clearly as these are hearts. these other things, other shapes come through too. And I've seen where two hearts were next to each other, so they just cut the whole piece out, and it's like a twin, you know, two hearts right upon each other. Really, really awesome. Anyway, rainbow obsidian, speaking of healing, is something that we can use to help to increase our joy, our light, our positivity, to make us feel better. Obsidian in general, rainbow or otherwise, is like one of Isis's favorite stones. So it was one that I was introduced to right away. Right away, she had me sleeping with a piece of raw plain obsidian underneath my pillow to like pull. One day I woke up sweating so bad. It was from that stone, I'm sure, you know, like I was detoxifying. She was cleansing me through the stone. So you may want to try that too. But obsidian in general is, they say that it protects us from being like depressed and overly sensitive, and, you know, helps to shield us from negativity and I guess sort of to repel it. You know, you're not going to be suddenly, I guess, like scared, and prevent stuff like that. Like you're able to receive information, news, stuff, you know, better. You're just more calm, even keeled. You're just happy. You just have a positive perspective. I like to think that I have one. Maybe it's because I'm in parts, or at least surrounded by all this rainbow obsidian. So also they say that it helps to increase like your clairvoyance and your psychic awareness. And supposedly, or at least, you know, rumor has it, or the myth is, that Nostradamus worked with rainbow obsidian before he would make his predictions. He would, you know, do some sort of ritual with rainbow obsidian. So you guys may want to not only check out the images of rainbow obsidian, all the beautiful shapes and everything in which it comes and colors, but you may want to read about the healing aspects of it too, and see if it's something that, with which you want to work, particularly on or around 7/16 of this year. So, okay, let's get into it. I can maybe shuffle once in front of you guys so we can see that I'm shuffling, but I don't want to waste time shuffling because I have 3 rows to do. I guess, again, Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear, you know, Daddy, Mommy, Baby. Or, you know, it's like a trinity we have here. And you guys can pick one in your head. So with this one, I'm using the Rider-Waite Tarot for the first row of what is the masculine's like primary karmic issue. Because I saw a lot of them are going through actual legal issues, but all different kinds. Some were criminal, some were civil, some were family, court. And then, but there's other issues. Not everybody's in court, you know. And for those who are, a lot of them, it's going to be during the month of July, actually. But not everyone is. So, like, what are the main primary karmic issues? So we'll have 1, 2, and 3 choices of those. All right, I'll shuffle once. So, opening to the 8 of Pentacles. I couldn't do that if I wanted to, on purpose. 8 of Pentacles, of course, about putting the work in, and then reaping what we've sown. And you see it's a card of labor, right? A card of effort. And you see that there's a gentleman sitting here actually working on making one of the pentacles. He's carving the star shape in there. Wheel of Fortune, okay? So there will be reversals too. Oh, did you guys see this Isis statue move yesterday? Those of you who saw the Capricorn full moon video, I did not, but I saw this move and I heard it move, and I don't know if it was caught on camera or not. But then when I went to put these here today, I saw she was like twisted, and I was like, oh, that's how this big heavy. This thing is heavy. I'll just show you. Okay, this is heavy. And I was like, that's how that big heavy thing that never moved before moved last night. She moved. She moved. And a piece of the crystal just fell off. Very interesting. It's also very dusty, I guess, from my incense and shit. Yeah, but I was just reminded about that. I was wondering if any of you saw her move. Because I didn't say anything. When I saw the stone move, I looked, like I looked up at it real good. And like, I guess paused for a second. Like, are you going to do anything else? And it didn't, and I kept going. But I'm just curious how much of it, if any, was caught on camera. All right, so the overall energy from this deck is the Wheel of Fortune upright, which is very positive. Things coming our way. Also, the Wheel of Fortune connected to the planet Jupiter and Sagittarius, which it rules, but also the fixed signs of the zodiac. So those would be Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus. I'll put this here on this side. Let's save some space. These are all tarot decks by the way. This one is my Tarot of the Ages, and beginning with the energy of the Emperor, which represents the signs of Aries and Scorpio for me, because it represents the planet Mars and that energy of aggression and leadership, and I'm the boss that Mars has. And it's about taking control and you being in control when it's upright like this. It's very positive. I will shuffle once again. Opening to the Three of Cups, card of celebration. There's some happy friends here. Okay, this is my Tarot of the Ages. Again, I'll try to remember to list them all at the bottom. Decks you guys probably haven't seen, you guys who watch me regularly haven't seen in forever. So this was the primary situation, and this is what can the masculine do for himself in, resolving this situation? How can he be proactive? Lover's Path Tarot, beginning with the Queen of Cups, which represents the sign of Scorpio. So we've seen Scorpio 3 times or connected already with 3 of the energies, beginning with the Wheel of Fortune. I said it's attached to the fixed signs, one of which is Scorpio. Then we just had the Emperor, which represents Mars, ruler of Aries and Scorpio. And now the Queen of Cups. The Queen in the tarot tends to be about the fixed sign as well. So again, that will be Scorpio of the water element. There's the moon here. Today is the 28th, the day of the full moon in Capricorn. Scorpio's other ruler, Pluto, currently retrograde in Capricorn as well. So maybe connected to that energy of that moon. Opening to the Five of Staves, which from a positive standpoint tends to represent the planet Mars for me too. And, the aggressiveness and sort of by any means necessary, going after what it is you want without backing down. In this case, it's a female who's doing that. She's not taking any bullshit or prisoners. She's got this red on too. So I can see the fire of the Aries and the red planet Mars. From a more negative standpoint, the Five of Staves is about conflict. And for me, most often that conflict, when it's staves as opposed to the Five of Swords or something, is conflict with your close friends and or family, if not internal struggle. It can very well, again, be representing Mars, though. Mars, a ruler of Scorpio. This third card, what was going to be about the feminine. What can the feminine do to help? This is what the masculine can do for himself. What can the feminine do to help his situation? Angel Tarot, beginning with the Queen of Spring, who's talented, brilliant, independent, and charming, can also be connected to Mars and Scorpio, but maybe connected to the signs of Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries as well, the energy of those three signs, or maybe the planet Jupiter yet again, or anybody likened to these traits or attributes. Queen of Spring also, of course, a representation of the divine feminine in the tarot. Don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. You may have several priorities vying for your attention at once, but you can do it. Opening to the King of Summer. So I didn't go into this feeling this, but I think this has a lot to do with the energy of Scorpio. And maybe because of the death and rebirth, like we have to allow our former selves, our present selves, in some cases, to die so that we can be reborn as something new. So that's like the culmination of the healing. And this is about healing. A trustworthy person or relationship enters your life. You may receive wise or compassionate advice from someone who speaks directly from their hearts. Very nice. The King of Summer is warm-hearted, devoted, loving, and faithful. He's also a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, or someone likened to these traits or attributes. Queen of Spring. I'll have to move these up. I won't have a choice because I got to fit one more. I don't want to turn this around. This one, I will read the reversal if there is one. The fourth card is what the universe wants the masculine to know about this situation. Like how can they inform him, arm him with some sort of information? This is with what they're going to arm him. And lastly, beginning with the Knight of Fire with my Angel Tarot. The Knight of Fire is passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless, and also may be a Scorpio, or if not a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone likened to these traits or attributes like Prince Charming to the rescue. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. Again, this can also be connected to Jupiter, like the Wheel of Fortune card with which we started, or Mars, ruler of fire sign Aries and water sign Scorpio. And Mars also like the masculine planet of love. Venus is opposite. And opening to the Tower, life experience, major arcana card number 16, which also represents for me the sign of Scorpio. So definitely very heavily surrounded by that energy. And again, connected to the death and the rebirth. A significant life event. A powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. So you could all of a sudden have some sort of aha moment that causes the death of your present existence and allows you to be freed from some sort of outdated belief system or ideology or something that's holding you back, and to be born again, a freer, stronger, more spiritual being. Tower. So this last one is, what is something the universe will gift to the masculine, toward this karmic completion by the end of August? Because I've also been shown, I had started out saying by August 11th, or like on or around August 11th, but I've also been shown the entire month of August is 8/11. Or the energy of 1 and new starts and beginnings. Similar to how I was shown that June 2018 has an energy of 8 when I first started seeing the 8s. It was like as soon as the month began. I was shown after that, oh, it's because, 6 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 equals 8. And now 8 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 equals 1. But 8 is 8, and 2018 is 2 or 11. So it's still 811. 811. The whole month is 811. All right, so you may want to take a second to tune in with one of these. Maybe, you know, if not one row in particular, maybe one stone. Whether you connect with the larger piece of rainbow obsidian. This one has a lot of purple that comes through. I'm not sure if it's coming through on the screen, but has quite a bit of purple in it. And before it's polished, rainbow obsidian really looks pretty much black, you know, just wholly black. Then they polish it and they bring out all these striations. This one has a lot of like green and blue. This isn't the mama. And the baby has this much larger heart in the center than the other two. The other two, you know, there's a lot of striations, and this one's just like really dark in the center. Okay, so if you connected with one, those of you who picked Daddy, the primary situation through which he's going is one surrounded in, like, there's a truth that's not been told. It's one that's shrouded in lies and negativity, and his inability to overcome thus far. The Ace of Swords is about like good versus evil, or light versus dark. So that's like where the Triumph comes in. Even when you look at this card, it's like this hand, the hand of God, basically, right? Coming out of the sky. Some hand is coming out of the sky to hand you this, like the sword of truth and justice and divinity and all things good. So when it's in reverse, again, it's like the inability to triumph as opposed to actually being triumphant. And it's also an indication that, you know, there's some sort of untruth, there's some sort of veil through which we're not cutting through. The knife isn't even in the right position to do so. Also, this can be connected to childbirth, and I've seen that for a lot of them, as you know, too. For a lot of the masculine, I've seen not only childbirth, but in some cases court, whether it's family court to work out some sort of custody, or what do they call that, child support, or if it's about DNA and the baby's not even his. And I mentioned in one of the other readings, Michael Jackson, because I don't even think I ever got to the point of how I had been hearing Billie Jean, which I went through last year too, and I think around the same time of year, had been hearing Billie Jean. I'm like, that's not his baby. I kept hearing it like every day, all day, radio, in my head, just all over the place. And that had been happening to me recently too. And I said, oh, Billie Jean's back. For some of you, that is not that man's baby. And so that this can definitely be one of those type of situations. Whatever it is that he is been confronted with, he just can't get over the hurdle. He's been unable to triumph. So what can he do for himself to help to change that? The Queen of Coins in reverse. For some, this is really as simple as getting rid of some earth sign woman, to be honest with you, who doesn't mean him well, or somebody who, they might not be an earth sign, but they're like, how you say, trying to lead him around by the purse strings. They don't mean him well. They're using like money as a means of control and manipulation. Because again, it's in reverse. When it's upright, that obviously does not mean that, what I've been saying. Upright, Is this a snake? What is this in between her legs? I thought that was a snake on top of everything else. I was going to say this one's really up to no good. Yeah, but this can be his mother. I mean, it's likely a female. It doesn't have to actually be a female, but it's likely a female, and it's somebody who is trying to manipulate him with the material or money, or he feels like trapped because, you know, like he has to provide support here and support somewhere else. And so like, how, from where am I getting all this money? This person causes him to need money or makes him feel ruled by money. And you know what? Speaking of earth signs and that type of energy, that's what Capricorn, I mean, that's what the devil in the tarot, Major Arcana card 15, which represents the sign of Capricorn, is, or definitely at least can be, also about making you feel bound, like married to money and the material, and being overly focused upon it, and like sort of just caught up in it, that you can't see your way through to anything else. You can't see, you know, what's going on in like actual, like real life. Another thing actually that, this belongs in reverse. Another thing that the Queen of Coins in reverse can be about is fear of failure. So like maybe he hasn't overcome because he's afraid. Like my son, growing up, he had, you know, he has a learning difference. I call them learning differences, not disabilities. Super, super smart. I mean, my son can like build computers from scratch. You know, he knows what, really, it's pretty incredible. He knows like several computer languages that he taught himself from the time he was a baby. Literally would be at, his grandfather was, ran the mainframe for Verizon, you know, so he was a computer nerd that sat in that room with the huge wall-to-wall computer towers and stuff. And so he had these books at home, C++ and stuff. And my stuff, when we would visit him, it's their father's father, my son would take books down off the shelf and be sitting there reading them, you know, as a baby, like 2-3 years old. So he just continued that way. So really smart, but he has this condition where he needs to be able to do everything perfectly. And if he can't, he doesn't do them at all. So it's like, if I don't feel I can accomplish this perfectly, it's like a need to be, perfectly is not the word I'm trying to think of. Well, I guess it is. Yeah, it's some sort of perfectionism. The need to be, yeah, okay, it is perfect. And if you can't, it's like, I'm not going to try it all. If I can't get this 100% right, like the way no one else could do it, I'm just not going to do anything. So that is what the masculine can change about himself. And maybe tying in that 7-7 energy and beginning to notice things about ourselves. Like we all have flaws, and there's different ways to sort of treat ourselves, or at least learn to work within or through and around our flaws through different new methods that we may be coming up with. That's what he can do for himself here. What, like, can the feminine do for him, or what does the masculine, you know, what would he like the feminine to do for him? Aww. This, I mean, the Queen of Staves in the tarot is the divine feminine. So this is basically like, hold him down, and you remain positive and confident. If he's not, you got to be, like somebody, one of us got to be. You remain strong and confident and positive, and your positive energy can be the conduit for the attraction, for the law of attraction to, you know, bring in the manifestation that he needs for the two of you. You be the support. What does the universe want him to know is going on behind that he doesn't know, that may be able to help him? Could be information he could need. Good things are coming. 3 of Summer. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. So don't, we got to be careful while we're sulking about this other stuff, you know, that when other people are helping us and showing us love, that we in turn show as much appreciation and recognition of that as we're capable in that moment. It may not be the easiest thing to do when we've got these other things on our mind, but that's what the universe is saying. Also, again, there may be a party of three involved in this situation, particularly for some. This woman doesn't mean well, or the legal situation, or a situation that feels so intense in your life that it may as well be like a legal situation. And there's, again, there's going to be a positive outcome. So I keep seeing there's going to be a positive outcome in these situations. And here is news, or confirmation of that yet again. And what is something the universe is going to do to gift him toward this karmic completion and resolution? The ability to manifest his own reality. Think positive. Again, like I just said, the feminine can help you to do. So maybe one of the things she can do is to teach you to be more like her in that regard, because you have the power to do it too. The universe is gifting you with the energy of the magician. Those of you who picked Daddy, pick number 1. You get Major Arcana card number 1 as well. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them, and life is magical. Second group, Mommy. Wow. This doesn't seem like a challenge at all. Except where we're caught up in fear. Right? The Knight of Cups upright. This person is again a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, quite possibly direct water sign. Doesn't have to be. Other than that, it's somebody who wants to make some sort of an approach, a proposal to come toward you. And the only thing that could stop the Knight of Cups upright from doing that is if he is encountering fear, ego. What can he do for himself to get beyond that? The Empress. Major Arcana card, the Empress, also upright. So he needs to go through a little bit of death and rebirth too. So he needs to shed those parts of him that are shrouded in ego and pride, that are causing him to put up this resistance, and instead give birth to his newer, lighter, more open-minded and awakened self, spiritual self, and jump into this new beginning. This second row has sort of like got it going on. The Empress also, or this energy can be a Libra, Taurus, or Gemini. And maybe this combination for some is going to be a water sign and an air sign, or an earth sign, maybe specifically Taurus. What does he want the feminine to know, or what can she do for him? How can she help out here? The Devil in reverse. Maybe I should read this one, because the Lover's Path Tarot actually has cute little stories. All right, and let me get the book for this one. Speaking of earth signs that may be involved, temptation, Major Arcana card 15 in this deck is the Devil, which again represents the sign of Capricorn, and today is the Capricorn full moon. The full moon into Capricorn, I think it was 1:53 this morning. In any case, Paolo and Francesca are pictured on this card, and what the book has to say about it is that it's about inner turmoil and obsession. So right away, before I even read this, I'm going to say what the feminine can do, at least in part, is like, don't chase him. Don't try to rush him. Don't try to pull him, force him to do it. He's going to do it, but he just needs to go through this healing process on his own, and muster up the gumption and let go of the things that are holding him back, and he'll do it. He doesn't want you to like do it for him or force him to do it. That is in fact actually a turnoff. Francesca was married to Giovanni to strengthen their family's political bonds. So it was an arranged marriage. But there was one problem. Francesca loved Giovanni's brother, the handsome Paolo. Tempted by love, Francesca and Paolo's story could only end in sorrow. These true events inspired the poet Dante, who had a vision of Paolo tenderly embracing Francesca to protect her against the forces swirling about him in Hades. Dante retold their sad story in his Inferno, the first book of the Divine Comedy. Meanings. When it's reverse, it means freedom from temptation, experiencing the envy of others. So these are some things that the masculine may want you to know through which he's going. And trying to transform a weakness into strength. So just what I was saying, he's trying to heal this on his own. He doesn't want your help. He doesn't want you to force him or to chase him into doing it. Also, another message coming through with this is that some of them may be with some partner, and that could be represented by the Major Arcana card 3, this number 3, some sort of party of 3, lover's triangle. Some of them may be with a partner whom, you know, they don't really want to be, and sort of their family member pushed it. And maybe specifically their mother. The Empress can be a representation of someone's mother. Or this could be the mother of their child through with the Empress. Still also as far as zodiac in those areas of air, earth, and water coming together. Fourth card. What does the universe want him to know that he doesn't? The Lovers. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. So it's agreeing with him, basically, that he will get there. He will get to that point. And, you know, if he's going to find love, love's going to find him. It's going to come together. It's going to come together. It's meant to be. It's going to happen. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. So he needs to follow his guidance and, you know, from within, and listen to those gut, you know, things that are pushing him toward his true love. And if he is with another, away from that falsehood, he needs freedom. I remember freedom from, you know, temptation and things that bind. So he needs to break away from that relationship that is not meant for him and move toward the one that is. But he'll do that on his own. And what is something the universe will gift him toward this karmic completion by the end of August, 8/11 of this year. Like fresh energy with which to do it. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. That's what the card says. But the Four of Air, Four of Swords, is about recovery and like getting your strength back, being made whole, restoration. In the traditional tarot, it's this soldier who looks like he just come back from war and he's laid out. He looks like he might even be dead, but really he's said to be resting and sort of getting his strength back. So that he can go out and fight again. So that's what the masculine is going to be able to do also. The universe wants him to know, we are going to, you know, strengthen you, restore you, and make you enable you to fight this battle, to fight your battles as you choose, you know, to do so, and which you choose to fight. If you pick number 3, the baby, Rainbow Obsidian, it's another Queen of Pentacles. And this is why I used tarot decks only, like over and over, as opposed to oracle cards or anything, because I wanted the energy to be able to repeat itself if it was legitimately supposed to, you know, if it needed to. So what's the masculine's primary karmic issue in this case? Well, it's the Queen of Pentacles upright, but he may just be feeling like he's having some sort of financial woes, although the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's doing okay and is a nurturer. So this could have something to do with their mother too, from another standpoint, or some sort of mother figure, again, the mother of their children or whatever, making them feel, but not in an ugly way like this one. This Queen of Coins in reverse is just a nasty bitch, you know, if where it applies to an actual person who's like being manipulative. In this case, it's not that kind of ugly situation. It may be another relationship that he's in. It may be with an earth sign. If not just somebody that he feels responsible for. And again, that doesn't have to be like a romantic. That can be somebody else, a family member or something to whom he feels responsible. But he just doesn't know how he can do it all. And again, it may be somebody who is connected to nurturing for him. So his own mother or the mother of his children, like how can I leave them, you know, how they're going to be taken care of if I'm not here? How am I going to be able to provide nurturing to them? You know, maybe if it has to do with children as a parent, you know, what are they going to do if they can't see me every day? How do I get through that? So that's his struggle. What can he do for himself to help to resolve it? Seven, another one of these sevens of swords. Now notice, in this particular card, the Seven of Swords, it's not somebody sneaking away. Like the Seven of Swords is often connected to stealing and thievery, theft, right? And there's somebody like stealing away, looking like very sneakily, like they're trying to get away with something, and they have a bunch of the swords in their hand, like they're trying to walk away with them. But not in this deck. This guy is like at the ready, defending himself. He's got one of the swords in his hand. And that's what he could do. That's what he can do to help himself, cut himself out of this situation, right? You have the power to remove yourself from the situation. And look, you're still going to have what you have. Your belongings, they have value to you, but they're remaining here. No one's touching them. They're not going away. And that's what he has to know about family too. You know, if you're having to leave one family in order to go start another, you don't cease to have the other family. We just have to come up with a different way or different ways, you know, to co-create and co-parent and coexist and all that. But we can. People do it all the time. So that's what the masculine can do, can come to realize that, you know, he is in defense of his own things. He's in control of this. There's nobody else getting in the way and trying to take his joy from him in this case, but him. What does he want the feminine to know, or what is something he feels that she can do for him? And it is Fortune in reverse. We just heard about Dante's Inferno. I thought this said Dante too. No, this is Danae and Zeus. Now that I have it upright, I can actually read. So I'll read this one from the book too, like I did for group number 2 or B or Mommy. All right, so I'm going to read it from the book like I said, but really, just from an initial standpoint, it's what I've been saying already. He's got this concern with money, not as much in an unhealthy way as this other one. Okay, this one is more of a hard worker and willing to work for the money and things, and maybe he just doesn't have as much as he thinks he should, feels he needs. The universe, again, letting him know he's in control. Okay, no one's trying to deny you. No one's in your way. You got this. You have all the tools you need to achieve what it is you're trying to achieve. You got 7 knives here, 7 swords here, you know, and a armor, a shield of armor protecting you. So you got this. But then the Wheel of Fortune, essentially, it's called Fortune in this deck, in reverse shows up to say, like, he doesn't feel very prosperous or lucky or like he's, he gets a chance. It's like all the hard work doesn't seem to be paying off, so to speak. All right, so let's see what the book has to say about it. Fortune. Pictured here again are Danae and Zeus. Key words: chance, fate, expansion, and prosperity. Well, why? Because again, the Wheel of Fortune is connected to the planet Jupiter, the planet of expansion, planet of growth, planet of karma. People say luck, I say karma. And ruler of Sagittarius, but again, also connected to the fixed signs. And so the Queen of Pentacles would fit in there because Taurus is the fixed sign of Earth. But also the other fixed signs, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, coming into play as well, perhaps. King Acrisius had a daughter named Danae, a princess with a curse. For upon her birth, it was predicted that one of the princess's offspring would kill the king. So her baby, her child, is set to kill her father. When Danae came of age, the king walled her within a tower of bronze. Despite this, Danae was loved by Zeus, and together they had a son named Perseus. Perseus grew into a strong man, and after many adventures, he did slay Acrisius, a just punishment for treating his only daughter so cruelly. So we could have, again, another earth sign person who is somehow, I want to be clear that it's not as ugly as this one, but the masculine still may feel responsible for this person, or maybe connected to earth sign energy, that energy of nurturing. He feels like he has to take care of this person or people. So when this is in reverse, according to the book, uncomfortable feelings or disappointing experiences with chance. See, he doesn't feel like he's very lucky, or like, things are going his way, basically. Feeling ignored by fortune, like, when will it be my turn? So the universe telling him again, it's already your turn. You just have to take it. You got to take your turn. It is already your turn. What does he want the feminine to know? That he's going through this sort of thing. If you're in contact, because this reading spread applies to, separation and contact, whatever. If you're in contact, and you have a means to tell him without being judgmental or, sounding like you're coming from a negative place, then you can remind him of that, basically, of his opportunities and his talents, and maybe how he can, achieve more prosperity. What does the universe want him to know? Things are about to go his way. Major Arcana card 8. Again, I mean, really, can you believe this? So justice is about to go his way, just like a week. So this is another reconfirmation, because we keep seeing this energy too. Again, justice represents the sign of Libra on the planet Venus. Fair decisions will be made after all the evidence is reviewed impartially. Have compassion for others and try to see all sides of a disagreement. But this means that, one will get their just due when it's upright. Justice is coming your way. The right thing's going to be done by you. So basically he can expect the, whatever outcome is best. And that doesn't mean it's going to be, optimum, but whatever is, in a general sense, but whatever is best that can happen for him in this situation will. It will. And lastly, what is something with which the universe is gifting him, or has gifted him, toward this karmic completion, or will by the end of August? The Page of Fire. Outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. So the universe is going to gift him opportunity. Use your originality and ingenuity. The Page of Fire, for me, as you guys know, represents the planet Jupiter, which is also represented by Fortune in the Wheel of Fortune, ruler of Sagittarius. And Again, as well as the fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, which will cover a good part of the month of August, as well as the month of July, the sun in Leo. And lastly, Aquarius. So that freedom from what had been holding him back. Aquarius, the energy of Aquarius represents freedom. Freedom from this mindset and maybe actual experience, because our perception becomes our reality. So if he feels like he's stuck and he's not getting ahead, then he's not getting ahead. So freedom from that negative energy too. Boom. And now an oracle card for each. Beginning with the energy of be willing to forgive. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. And didn't I say the Ascended Masters were surrounding us? When I came across that page number 33, here they are. Powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over and guiding you. Told ya. Ascended Masters. Oracle card for A, B, and C. So for this first group, their advice is heart chakra. The answer that you seek is in your heart right now. Be open to giving and receiving love. So again, he needs to get the law of attraction to work for him, and can do that with this gift that the universe has bestowed upon him of the energy of the magician, and which is basically the gift of manifestation. For this second group, you are profoundly clairvoyant, especially if you're taking on this energy of water signs and or Gemini. The lovers represents the sign of Gemini. Both water signs and Gemini, very, very intuitive and clairvoyant. Trust what you see in your mind's eye, as well as with your physical sight. For your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching, and guidance. So remember, this one was the one that needed to be restored, healed to the point that he can speak up for himself and make the approach and proposal that he wants to. And lastly, for group C, have you asked your angels for help with this feeling of being stuck and limited by, your lack of luck? Your angels want to help you with this situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene in your free will choices. So all you have to do is grant them permission to bless you or help you to be blessed, and they will. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this very impromptu reading and that you find it helpful. Namaste, angels.
I'ma make it go.